What's up everyone, and today I'm doing a deck profile on my Trickstar Shaddoll deck. Now this is actually the first deck profile I've ever done on my channel, and I don't know if you can hear there's a movie playing in the background. I don't know if the camera can pick it up or not, but it is. Sorry about that, can't really do much about it. And make sure to vote for which deck you'd like me to do this month. While unfortunately, at least as of the recording of this video, everything's kind of being delayed a little bit. It will happen eventually, just maybe not quite as quickly. Without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Now first up, I run 3 Shaddoll Wendy. Shaddoll Wendy has a flip effect. Well, all the Shaddolls are flip monsters. Wendy, when it is flip face up, you can special summon a Shaddoll monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. And when it's sent to the grave by card effect, you can special summon one in face down defense position from your deck. Squamata is, when it is flipped, you target a monster on the field, destroy it, and when it is sent to the grave, it becomes a foolish burial. You can send a Shaddoll from deck to grave. You also run 2 Shaddoll Beasts. Shaddoll Beast, when it's flipped, you can draw 2, discard 1, and when it's sent to grave, you can draw 1 card. Also run the 1 Shaddoll Falco. Shaddoll Falco, when it is flipped summon, you can target a Shaddoll monster in your grave, special summon it, and if it is sent to the grave by card effect, it's the exact same thing. Also run 1 Shaddoll Hedgehog. You can flip to add a Shaddoll spell trap, or if it's sent to the grave by card effect, you can add 1 Shaddoll monster from your deck to hand. Also run the 1 Shaddoll Aerial, or Nal Shaddoll, however it's pronounced. When it's flipped, you can target a banished Shaddoll monster, special summon it, and if this card is sent to the grave, you can target 3 cards in any grave, banish it. So, they do a lot of different stuff. The Shaddoll monsters themselves aren't as impressive as their fusion monsters. Also run 3 Trickstar Candina and the 1 Corobane. Candina, when it is normal or special, when it's normal summon, you can add 1 Trickstar card from your deck to your hand. So you can add Corobane, the field spell, or Reincarnation. Also run 2 Mathematician. This is when it's normal summon, you can send 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to grave, so it's a foolish burial. Also run 1 Perform Age Trick Clown. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Perform Age monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Perform Age monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So essentially, it can revive itself from the grave. And lastly, for the hand trap, I run 3 Droll and Lockbird because you're on Trickstar Reincarnation in this, and whenever you run Reincarnation, you gotta run Droll, because if you can get it, that Trickstar, that Reincarnation and Droll combo off, you're golden. Moving on to the spells. I run 3 Shaddoll Fusion. Shaddoll Fusion is the fusion spell for Shaddolls, and if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can use monsters from your deck. So, in my opinion, it's one of the best fusion spells. I also run 3 El Shaddoll Fusion. This is a much more generic fusion, kind of like Poly. Speaking of Poly, 3 Super Poly. Super Poly, if you don't know what it does, basically you can fuse away monsters from your or your opponent's field, and they cannot respond to it either. So it's good for clearing boards. Also run 2 Pop Desires for draw power. Now in my last step profile I actually ran Avarice instead, but I feel like Desires was much better in this case, because on the first turn, or maybe not even the second turn, I'm necessarily going to have 5 monsters in grave. I also run the 1 Trickstar Light Stage, as well as a Card Destruction, Foolish Burial, and Monster Reborn as some one-ofs. Now for the traps, I run triple Trickstar Reincarnation, as well as 2 Neobug Nests. Trickstar Reincarnation, your opponent discards their entire hand, and if they do, they draw cards equal to the number of cards they banished with this card. And so if you have Droll and Lockbird and you activate this, they can essentially banish their hand and they don't draw anything. So that's pretty good. And Neobug Nest is send 5 from the top of your deck to your grave. Pretty simple. But it triggers off the Shaddoll monster's effects. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 2 El Shaddoll Construct. Shaddoll Construct requires a Shaddoll and a light monster. Must be fusion summoned, and if this card is special summoned, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to the grave. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a special summon monster, destroy that monster. So it's kind of like Eater Millions, but destroying instead of banishing. Also run 2 El Shaddoll Winda. Essentially, each pair can only special summon once per turn. So it's like a summon limit in a way. I also run the 1 Shaddoll Apkalone. You can use each of these effects once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target a face-up card on the field, negate its effects. So if you have like a Super Poly and you're able to do that, it's really good during your opponent's turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Shaddoll card from your deck to or graveyard to your hand, which all the Shaddoll fusions do that. Next, I run 1 Starving Venom Dragon and 1 Predaplant Tarvotrium for the Super Poly targets. Moving on to the links, I run 1 Cross Sheep. If you can fuse and summon to a zone that Link monster points to, you can special summon a level 4 from your grave. Also run 1 Pride Plant Birthday Anaconda, pay 2,000, and it literally becomes the effect of a fusion card. I also run the 1 IP Masquerena, Phoenix, and Unicorn for a little IP Masquerena package. And then I also got the 3 links I run in pretty much everything: Access Code, Sword, and Apollosa. So what do you think of that deck profile? Do you think Shaddoll Tricks was pretty cool? Do you think my last deck profile was better? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye!